because I can either have a busy week and be totally in flow and be like ready and rocking and rolling, or I can have writer's block. I can't have writer's block and have a busy week, because then I have 10 minutes to write, or 2 hours to write, and that's it. I can't spend that time staring at the void. You have to spend some time as a writer staring at the void. This week I did not have that time. And so I'm pretty sure when I do my recap, I'm going to be like, well, it's another week where I didn't reach my goals. It's my birthday! Please comment happy birthday. If you're enjoying my content, hit subscribe for my birthday. Hit the notification bell for my birthday. Hit the like button. Leave a comment for my birthday. I'm gonna ride this train the whole day. Also, look how cute this shirt is that says, "Ask me about my books." So cute. I found it on Etsy. So around here, I'm going to keep it very real. I'm going to overshare all of my real life problems and issues with you as a writer and a wife, mom of 6. And one of those is fall is not just crazy because it's fall, but also because we have birthdays in August, September, 2 in October, 1 in November, and 1 in December. This week we had the 2 oldest kids' combined birthday because their birthdays are close together, which was a challenge because it was a music and dragons birthday. So I had to figure out how to do that. Today is my birthday. And then also this week, I just had a lot going on, which as I said earlier this week when I was filming in my car, I didn't have time to have writer's block because I was writing in tiny pockets. So I want to talk you through this and hopefully encourage you and motivate you if maybe you're dealing with writer's block or you have it a lot. If you've been around here in the Kelsey verse for a while, you know that I don't really believe in writer's block. And one of my life mottos is the only way out is through. Let me give you some examples of what that means. Obviously, that means if we're stuck writing, we keep writing. Like I'll just try and write a sentence. I'll work on my outline. I'll go back and edit what I wrote yesterday and fix, typos and things. I will not just sit still and accept writer's block. I don't accept it. I reject the premise. Okay. But also in life, you guys, so much of our discontent, our struggle, like overeating, over drinking, over indulging in things is avoidance. We're avoiding the thing. So if I'm struggling within a relationship with someone, maybe one of my kids or my husband or a friend, the answer is not to just avoid that person and not answer the text message and not deal with it. Maybe it's because I'm the ripe old age of 41 today, but I just realized that the only way out is through. When we were having issues with our kids, with their behaviors and school and everything, we pulled everybody home and homeschooled. And it was terrible. But it was what we were supposed to do because we weren't going to figure out how to be a family because 4 of my kids were recently adopted at the time. And then surprise, we had a baby. And so all of that was crazy. And we weren't going to figure it out if we weren't at home all day just going through it. And for us as creatives, that means you keep painting, you keep singing, you keep as writers. I know most of you guys following me are writers. You're interested in writing. Maybe you have a manuscript or 2, or you're working on one, or you have a bunch of ideas. Remember, I have a waiting list right now to work with me, kelseyhumphreys.com/writing. But what I want you to hear me say is that we cannot accept writer's block. So in a very busy week, that meant I wrote at night. I wrote in tiny pockets of time. I really only had Monday and Thursday as sit and write as much as I can days, because the other days, it's kind of like if I leave my house one time, the day is shot. That's it. Which is illogical. And again, that we can't function that way. You've heard me before say, like, don't get cute with it. You don't have to have, like, I wrote 2 manuscripts while homeschooling and I only had like an hour or 2 a day to write during rest time. Like, I can do it. It can be done. But writer's block really slows me down. So also we're getting technical this week with the dry erase board. Doing that dramatically erased some of the markers. You know, I'm trying to be a comfort creator, which means like everything's imperfect all the time. I think I'm nailing it. Uh-oh. What I've written out here is 100,000 words in 10 weeks. And that was starting last week. So I subtracted the existing words from when I started writing this series 4 years ago, which again, do not do this. Do not let yourself wait so long between books. But our life imploded beautifully. And so I got off track. That brings us to 84,259 words over 10 weeks. Now, why did I pick 100,000 words? Well, 100,000 words is on the low end of a fantasy novel, but this is the end of the trilogy, and I'm pretty sure that as I go through it, I'm gonna just add and add and add and add. I've never come in below a word count goal. My goal was 80,000 words on a novel. I end up with 85 or 90. So I'm putting it at 100, knowing I'm probably gonna hit more like 120 once I finally get it all said and done. 84,259 words over 10 weeks. That means basically every week your girl needs to hit 8,400 words, basically. And I know once I get into my favorite parts, so like writing the ending, writing the romantic parts, when I get to that, I will write much faster. I mean, I can write 8,400 words in a day. If I have the time and I'm really in the story and I'm like totally in flow, I can write 8,400 words in a day. This week, I was just trying to remember what was my plan? What were my intentions here? I went back through Scrivener. If you've watched some of my writing tips videos, I use Scrivener. That's my word processor of choice. And so I went in this week and I tried to fill out more of my chapter outlines to give myself some guideposts and really to get myself through part one. Like, let's get to the end of part one. Before I get to my grand total, I did want more feedback. If you guys watched last week on the rebrand of the cover design, the Romantasy positioning, I keep kind of going back and forth because, as I said before, I wanted to make it feel more cozy when you look at it, but cozy really means low stakes. Well, in my Romantasy trilogy, they're saving the world, so it's high stakes. So now I'm like going back and forth. Am I making the wrong decision? So if you haven't watched last week's vlog, go watch it, see what you think about the cover design, leave me a comment, let me know. Now we're going to struggle through my week and see what my final word count was. final word count was. Would have been really smart if I had written that down somewhere before starting recording this, but again, comfort creator, cozy vibes, imperfect. The goal was 8,400 and my total for this week, 6,014. Could have been a lot worse, considering there was so much time that I spent like just staring at the coffee pot, praying for the caffeine to bring back my memories of all my plans for this story. Today, I'm going to go have lunch with a friend, peruse a little bookstore I've never been to, just enjoy myself. And then this weekend, I will not probably get anything done over the weekend. It's football time in Oklahoma.
It's football time in Oklahoma. Back to pass, Bill Rowe.
I only have plans next week on Wednesday. So Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. And again, I will do things like right after everybody goes to sleep, maybe over the weekend, whenever, maybe during nap time, rest time, pockets of time. But I did get through writer's block for the most part. Like I was able to bust out 281 words this morning. That's like a paragraph, but yesterday, 2,545. Now, when you consider that's coming from a place of total like pulling teeth, that's pretty good. Come back next week to see what kind of word count I can get on my goal. Also, I'm going to work more on the positioning, and I'm going to update you guys on the Happy Christmas launch because my book launched last week on Tuesday, and so we'll check in on the numbers and all that. Don't forget, I have writing tips on this channel. I have my funny self-help podcast, and then I post this once a week. So definitely like, subscribe, and I will see you next week for another vlog.